Rocket goes and rewind in southwestern Minnesota. Hey everyone, it's Robert from Highman ZXC. Hope your afternoon is wonderful for the new year. Absolute Communication Radio works. Flipped classic Rocket 93.5 KITN. Worthington, Minnesota to a broad classic hits 93.5 Rewind FM on January 1st. As first reported by North Pine, the station is featuring a broad playlist from 70s through 2000s as part of a lengthy Facebook post. Let's see, the move writing. The person says, I made Rocket FM in 2012 to target a mostly male audience of 35 to 50 years old like me who appreciates classic rock stations, but didn't like that they mostly only played late 60s and 70s rock. He used to tell people traditional classic rock was comfortably numb, so rock it was made to be mostly 1980s to 1995. Classic rock is music from the 60s, 70s, 80s. What are you talking about, dude? Let's see. Rock and metal. Those songs are what made Rocket FM what it is. In the audience that knows it, which is what I am. The guy kind of sounds like he's full of himself. What classic rock is, it's rock music on a radio station from between 1960s to the 1980s. Okay, we are now becoming grandparents. Okay. Some are close to retirement and some we have lost. Wow, this got dark really quickly. So with age, different lifestyles, the Rocket listeners and Rocket advertising, Rocket on overdrive, yo. So let's see. So he have to make decisions to keep everything where they need to be to keep people's bills and everything paid. I don't think you're even talking about the radio station anymore, dude. Whoever you are, his name is Chad Cummings. Well, I did know a Chris Cummings on 105.5 The Nerve that later became US 105 after a quick brief KYUL Cool 105.5 in Temple back in the mid-90s. So Rewind 93.5 is going to be a broad-based classic hits station. Yeah, I would jettison all 2000. Once again, I would jettison all songs from the 2000s. What classic hits really means in my eye is music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and maybe some early 90s. He doesn't consider the 60s to be classic rock, but didn't like that they mostly only played music from the late 60s and 70s. That's what Z102.3 played in Austin for classic rocks, and it worked out really well. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. That's what I traditionally think of classic rock stations. Classic hits or classic rock from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, it's just so much time has gone by that formats have gotten all whacked out on what is considered classic nowadays. So what I consider classic rock or classic hits is music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. What I consider adult contemporary, I consider it maybe late 60s, mostly 70s, 80s, and 90s music. And when I consider pop, I consider a little freestyle, some boy bands, and maybe a pinch of rock in the playlist. That's what I consider different types of music genres. Yeah, 80s was kind of new wave / metal or hard rock, punk type music in the 80s. It wasn't really exactly classic rock. It was different. than what the guy probably remembers. You can put your comment on the comment section, if you want to tell me your idea of classic hits or classic rock. Yeah, I'm going to check out Rewind 93.5. He kind of went off on a tangent talking about other things, about retirement and people that died. This really got dark really quickly. So anyway, I'm Robert from High Man ZXC. Let's focus on the fun radio side of this, okay? Bye. Have a nice afternoon.